Brett Griffin just revealed a shocking revelation about NASCAR star Tony Stewart. So, what did he just reveal this time concerning NASCAR insights? There's gonna be some guys out of jobs, Griffin says, implying Tony Stewart's massive driver lineup change misfired. But why is he completely opposed to what Tony Stewart says? Is NASCAR's premise, talent over privilege, forgotten? In addition, Tony Stewart has been labeled a hypocrite by fans who reject his nepotism rant in favor of Hendrick Motorsports' underdog. Join us as we uncover what's going on behind the scenes in NASCAR. But before that, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more whereabouts on NASCAR. The NASCAR Nation has always prioritized talent over privilege as a core principle. However, there are concerning trends emerging within the organization. One such trend is the increasing number of drivers who secure their positions in the top division through monetary means rather than their skill and ability. Another worrisome trend is the inability of drivers to complete races or improve their standings in NASCAR's premier division. Recently, Brett Griffin, a spotter for Colleague Racing and well-known NASCAR enthusiast, shed light on the precarious situation involving Tony Stewart and his team. With the exception of the seasoned veteran Kevin Harvick, who is bidding farewell to the sport this year, the other drivers from Stewart-Haas Racing have faced significant challenges in achieving top 10 finishes. In response to Ryan Preece's performance of the 2023 season, Griffin had strong words for the driver, specifically highlighting Stewart's questionable decision to replace Cole Custer and bring in Preece as a full-time Cup Series driver. The year 2023 has proven to be a challenging one for Stewart-Haas Racing, which has partnered with Ford. Out of the 12 races thus far, only 7 top 10 finishes have been achieved, all by veteran driver Harvick. This performance falls below expectations and is cause for concern. Among the remaining drivers, Ryan Preece and Chase Briscoe have encountered significant struggles in finding success this season. Chase Briscoe's number 14 team faced severe penalties imposed by NASCAR, resulting in modification to their parts. As a consequence, SHR became the first team to receive L3 penalties. These penalties had a significant impact on Briscoe's standings, dropping him from 17th place down to 31st, effectively eliminating his chances of making the playoffs. Meanwhile, Ryan Preece, who took over Cole Custer's position as a full-time driver on the team, has also faced difficulties in finding his footing and achieving consistent results. During the discussion, Brett Griffin expressed his concern regarding the performance of the drivers in question. He emphasized that it is crucial for drivers to achieve top 10 finishes consistently, and that going over 20 races without such results is unacceptable. Griffin drew attention to the fact that last year, when the decision was made to bring in Ryan Preece as a replacement for Cole Custer, he had already expressed his reservations. Griffin also noted that Custer and Preece have similar track records and are comparable on paper. On a personal level, Griffin spoke highly of Preece, considering him to be a talented driver. Griffin acknowledged Preece's extensive experience in racing modified cars and stated that he believes Preece is a skilled race car driver who belongs at the Cup level. Considering the team's current situation, with Kevin Harvick announcing his retirement and Eric Almirola's uncertain stance, Stewart-Haas Racing finds itself in a challenging position. Despite bringing in Josh Berry as a substitute for the retiring Harvick, the team's situation remains unclear and raises questions. Preece and Briscoe face a daunting task, especially after the penalties that negatively affected the number 14 driver's chances of making the playoffs. The proud Ford camp, represented by Stewart-Haas Racing, is undoubtedly facing turbulent times. From the perspective of the fans, it appears that the team has relied heavily on Harvick, as the statistics reveal that 7 out of their 12 top 10 finishes have been achieved by the number 4 driver. This reliance on one driver highlights the need for Tony Stewart and Gene Haas to reevaluate their approach. What do you think about Brett Griffin's statements against Tony Stewart? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button for more updates. Even though NASCAR has become a great and entertaining sport over the years, the business side of it gives rich kids a huge chance to buy their way into the scene, while ability takes a back seat. Stewart said some harsh things about drivers who buy their way into NASCAR's top class after thinking about this. Stewart's bold comments about his own cars, on the other hand, were quickly called out by people online who pointed out the obvious irony. Josh Berry, a big star in Xfinity and Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s favorite driver, will replace Harvick in the number 4 Mustang in 2024. Berry's entry into the Cup Series had been expected for a long time, so the news didn't come as a surprise. Instead, it was Stewart's shocking comments that made the news. Barry has been a big choice to get the chance because of how fast he was when he was brought in to replace Chase Elliott at Richmond. His skill behind the wheel is well known, and Hendrick Motorsports gave him a lot of chances to show it in the Cup Series as the team's great sub. Now, let's talk about what's been going on lately. During the press conference at Charlotte, the vocal owner Stewart said some interesting things as he welcomed Barry to the team. In recent years, we've seen a number of unknown drivers make it to the NASCAR ranks. These drivers appear out of nowhere. Drivers can bring a sponsor and/or a checkbook and find themselves with a ride in the sport. NASCAR's business model has failed. Instead of their performance on the track, teams are largely paid by sponsorship. As a result, we have entered an era where drivers may purchase their way into the sport. To make that happen, Stewart-Haas Racing turned down checks. Tony Stewart said, "I'm not interested in some kid's father coming and buying their way into the Cup Series. I'm not interested in that. We want men that work hard and appreciate the qualities that it takes to be a top-tier driver. Not one who just graduated from high school and is suddenly a Cup driver. Josh put in the time and effort, and he's made the most of every chance that's come his way. That is the stuff that championship drivers are made of. Getting there isn't going to be easy. He's had to make the most of every change he's made. We're in an era where youngsters 12 to 14 years old are driving late models, which I find ridiculous. There's no rationale for it, in my opinion. There's nothing they will miss by waiting until they're 16 or 18. Their bodies are immature, as are their thoughts. I'm not sure why there's such a rush." With this comment, the 52-year-old poked fun at the current state of the sport, where money has become the factor instead of a factor, as more and more drivers buy their way to the top. But Stewart's honest words backfired quickly when fans pointed to SHR's number 98 Xfinity driver Riley Herbst, who comes from a family with a long history of off-road racing. Both his father and grandfather were well-known names in desert racing. Fans also pointed out that SHR's chief operating officer, Joe Custer, had his son, Cole Custer, go straight from Xfinity to Cup, while bright prospects like Barry had to work hard for years in lower divisions to get to the top. Even though the 32-year-old finally got his dream chance to race in NASCAR's most coveted top division, Barry's chances of winning the 2024 title will be helped by the strong number 4 team led by Rodney Childers. Riley Herbst, his new partner, was given a chance to race in Cup Series races for Rick Ware Racing. Barry, on the other hand, had to work his way up from Xfinity after a long time with JRM. As Stewart talked about this part of the game, his blunt and outspoken attitude got him in trouble with fans. Senior NASCAR journalist Toby Christie tweeted Stewart's words to the online community, and fans shared their thoughts. Custer and Herbst literally do that, one fan wrote, to disprove the nepotism claim, while another user asked, "Is this a shot at Cole Custer?" while tagging Cole Custer. Another fan agreed with the pro, but pointed out that the driver had no control over the situation. It makes sense, but the driver can't change that. On the other hand, some fans went on to criticize Stewart harshly, saying things like, "What Gene Haas needs is someone to run the team who isn't involved in drag racing. Why not hire fast drivers, no matter how fast their dad's wallet is?" Although the situation may appear grim for Stewart-Haas Racing, the arrival of Josh Berry brings hope for a morale boost among the drivers and a potential end to their underperformance. So that's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think of the video in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in the upcoming video.